In the villages of Punjab during the early 1990s, young men were vanishing. Night after night, police patrols would arrive, pull suspected individuals from their beds, and drive away. The boys were rarely seen again. Following the anti-Sikh violence of 1984, Punjab entered a decade of intense militancy. To crush the insurgency, the central government granted local police near absolute authority, effectively suspending standard legal protections for ordinary citizens. Under the command of DGP KKS Gill, the department instituted an aggressive bounty system. Officers were awarded cash payouts and rapid promotions based specifically on the number of militants they claimed to have neutralized. To meet these targets, corrupt elements within the police began orchestrating fake encounters. They detained innocent young men, executed them in secret, and then claimed the financial rewards associated with killing high-value targets. Unchecked political power and financial incentives turned the state's security forces into a lethal machine. Human lives were reduced to quotas, processed in secret, and reduced to unmarked ashes. Jaswant Singh Khalra was a cooperative bank worker and a dedicated human rights advocate. He spent his career reviewing financial accounts, a background in auditing that would eventually lead him to the state's darkest secret. In 1994, police abducted his friend, bank director Dara Singh. Despite his high social standing, Dara was later declared a militant and killed in what the police described as a standard encounter. Khalra launched a private investigation to find his friend's remains. He began auditing the bureaucratic records of local crematoriums, looking for any physical trace of where the police took the bodies of those they killed. His search ended at the Durgiana Temple in Amritsar. Municipal records showed that police had brought Dara Singh there, burning the prominent bank director and logging him in the register as a nameless, unclaimed body. Dara Singh's records proved that the police had a functional method for erasing citizens from existence. Khalra realized that if one man could be logged as unidentified to cover a murder, the same process was likely being used for the thousands of others missing across Punjab. Khalra expanded his investigation to Tarn Taran and Patti. He was hunting for the administrative paper trail that documented the secret disposal of these missing men. He developed a specific methodology, cross-referencing the dates of local disappearances with municipal logs. Whenever a group of boys vanished, the local crematorium showed a simultaneous massive spike in firewood purchases. Based on records from 3 sites, Khalra estimated police secretly incinerated 25,000 people across the province, labeling them unclaimed. In January 1995, Khalra released this data to the international media. He presented the physical municipal logs, breaking the police department's silence with their own bureaucratic records. The retaliation was immediate. High-ranking officers, including SSP Ajit Singh Sandhu, issued death threats. They told Khalra that if he did not drop the investigation, he would soon become the next unidentified body at the crematorium. Khalra had successfully identified the administrative trail left behind by the police. He had turned dry municipal records into a map of a wider pattern of state violence, making him the most dangerous man in Punjab. On the morning of September 6, 1995, as Khalra washed his car outside his home, a silver Maruti van arrived. Plainclothes officers forced him inside and drove away in view of his neighbors. They took him to the Jabal police station. Inside, officers demanded he withdraw his reports and his petitions to the Supreme Court. Khalra refused to retract his findings. Over the next several days, the very officers he had investigated subjected him to systematic torture in an effort to silence the investigation. When Khalra continued to refuse their demands, his captors shot him dead inside the police lockup. To hide the crime, the officers transported his body to the Harike Bridge and threw it into the dark, rushing currents of the Sutlej River. The officers believed that by killing the auditor, they had finally closed the books on their crimes. They expected the investigation to disappear along with Khalra's body. The state had overlooked Khalra's wife, Paramjit Kaur. A university librarian who had previously stayed out of his activism, she realized that she was now the only one who could finish her husband's work. Paramjit left her job and took the evidence to the Supreme Court in New Delhi. She demanded a federal investigation into her husband's disappearance and the thousands of unidentified cremations he had documented. Her pressure forced the court to order a probe by the Central Bureau of Investigation. For the first time, the local Punjab police were placed under federal investigation by an outside agency. A breakthrough occurred when Kuldeep Singh, a police insider who was in the station during Khalra's detention, broke rank. He provided an eyewitness account of the torture and the final execution inside the cell. Paramjeet forced the police to defend their actions in a federal arena. She used the national legal system to dismantle the immunity local officers had operated under for years, turning the law into a trap for the perpetrators. The police attempted to derail the case through intimidation. Before the High Court trial, their pressure was successful enough that the prime witness, Kuldeep Singh, went into hiding and vanished from the proceedings. Despite the missing witness, the evidence was mounting. SSP Ajit Singh Sandhu, the mastermind of the operation, committed suicide on a train track as federal investigators moved in to arrest him. The trial lasted 15 years. In 2011, the Supreme Court of India delivered a final ruling, sentencing 5 of the involved officers to life in prison for the abduction and murder of Jaswant Singh Khalra. The verdict established a landmark precedent. The court ruled that if a person vanishes from police custody, the state is entirely responsible for explaining their fate. This destroyed the defense that police could not be charged without the recovery of a physical body. Paramjeet Kaur remains an active advocate for human rights. She continues to present her husband's data on international stages, ensuring that the issue of the missing remains a matter of global record. The system tried to drown the truth in a river, but the documents Khalra left behind were more resilient than his captors imagined. A 15-year crusade proved that even absolute power can be broken by a single documented truth.